we're going to have a look at the Towering Heights theme deck. The Pokemon that you see in the little window on the theme deck is this Groudon. A nice 130 HP gives it a bit of heft. You've got an attack that, for one colorless energy, Drought, allows you to accelerate energy from the hand. It's quite nice in the theme deck format. That is a little bit slower than your standard metagame. And then you've got this attack here, Trembling Ground, which does 130 for just 3 energy, so not too bad. However, it cannot use that attack during your next turn. So I think ideally, you're using Groudon to set up the rest of your deck with Drought, and then maybe use Trembling Ground to swing for 130 damage before Groudon itself gets taken out. You've got things like Switch as well to get it out of the active if needed. You might be able to set up a play later where Groudon comes in, hits for 130, knowing that it's going to take an attack that will knock it out. Basically, you want to try and do your best to time Trembling Ground so that the negative effect of not being able to use the attack next turn is negated by the game state, by the board. And then you've got a couple of Stage 2 Pokemon in this deck, which is pretty cool. You've got Garchomp here, which can put out quite a lot of damage. The HP is a little bit low. That's probably the only negative part of this Garchomp. Overslice, for only 2 energy, which is quite nice, does 80, plus you may discard an energy from this Pokemon. If you do, it does 40 more damage. So you can do 80, choose to do more, or just sit at that 80 damage. 2 energy for 80? Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Avenging Aura really makes it as well. So if you have more prize cards remaining, so basically if you're losing, this Pokemon's attacks do 80 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. So you can play this deck in such a way that you're losing early in order to wipe out your opponent's threats later and position yourself to win via Avenging Aura empowered Overslice attacks, doing as much as 200 damage, which is a very high number for a theme deck. The other component of this deck is the Seismitoad, so a bit more HP than the Garchomp, sitting at 160. Bulldoze, once during your turn, you may search your deck for a card, shuffle your deck, then put that card on top of it, which is a really powerful effect when you combine it with the likes of Bugcatcher, Howl, Lily, right? When you've got an effect that allows you to then draw the card that you want off the top of your deck, Seismitoad and its Bulldoze ability become very powerful. And then Tremulous Fist, it's quite expensive at 4 energy, but let's read what it does. It does 80 damage base. This attack does 30 more damage for each of your bench Pokemon that has any damage counters on it. So I'm not sure if you've got anything in the deck other than this Palpitoad to set that up. But Palpitoad with Mini Earthquake does 60, this attack does 10 damage to each of your bench Pokemon. This is quite strong in that it enables you to empower Tremulous Fist for a few really strong turns for Seismitoad, if you ever get to that point. But also, Mini Earthquake is a lot of damage for just 1 energy, and you could be using Mini Earthquake as soon as your second turn, really. So, quite a good card between these two. You've got some synergy there with Reverse Shoulder Throw on Throw. So this Pokemon does 30, plus if any of your bench Pokemon have damage counters on them, this attack does 90 more damage. So 2 energy for 120 damage when it's a basic Pokemon. Pretty good. Mew prevents damage to your bench Pokemon with Bench Barrier. This could help a lot against Soaring Storm to stop the Tornadus from doing bench damage that you don't want to receive. So anyway, what I like about this deck is the energy acceleration with Groudon. I really like Bulldoze, which gives you later game consistency. I almost forgot to take a look at Persimmon. This is kind of good because you draw 2 cards as well as doing damage, which is not too bad. All right, let's give this deck a go. If you like that, it must have been a very unlucky draw from that. let's up the stakes. Straight into a theme deck tournament. I've played a couple of games. Having a general awareness of card counts in your deck is really important for estimating the odds of what may come off the top of your deck, right? So I think it's really important to have like your deck list, whether you're playing a standard deck or a theme deck, off to the side, and then have that to refer to as you play, so that you can judge the likelihood of you getting the cards that you need in a certain situation, or to try and guess what you'll draw and planning your turn around that outcome. I find that some of the skills that are tested in theme decks is amplified in ways that are different from standard. So, right. So, we are in round 1, and we're up against Relentless Flame, which is quite a good theme deck in its own right. I'm either going to switch to Groudon to accelerate energy. Alright. One from Boundaries Crossed took me all the way to the World Championships a few years. Well, we lost to Rapidash there, I think. Not much you can do about it. Should we run it back? I feel like we should run it back. Alright, we're up against Relentless Flame again. Now, let's see. Oh, they got the switch, dude. I was kind of like hoping that they wouldn't have the switch or something, and not have like enough energy left in deck to Roaring Resolve again, but have I given it enough tries? I feel like trying it one more time. And this is my absolute last go at this deck. If it doesn't work out for me in this tournament run, I'm gonna switch to something else. Here we go. We got the matchup. So, the reason why people trend towards Towering Heights is to beat this matchup, Dragonite. So let's see if it's true or not. Alright, we're going second. Ramon lives and dies by Leonzard. Fair enough. This is a bit of an unfortunate open. But there is a chance that we can get Passimian online. We do have Switch, we do have Com. So in the next 4 cards, we need to see a Pokemon. Ideally, it would just be Passimian, and then we can play Switch. Otherwise, we Com the Pokemon away. There's no way to take a KO here. I'm gonna Howl. So, I really want to threaten my opponent with a KO immediately. I don't know. I don't want to let them draw very much. So what I'm going to do is this. Right? And we'll drought to ourselves. And I think taking the opportunity to accelerate energy is pretty important for later in the game. You really need to be getting your energy out faster than I was in the game previously. So let's see if this works out. They do have the fan club, so the donk potential is gone. That's fine. I really want to get rid of this Pidgeotto. They either promote something that gets knocked out by Trembling Ground, or I just knock out the Pidgeotto, and that's fine for me. Raging Thunder is going to do some work on their side, though. So... sounds like a good strategy, I hope so. We got the Mew. We can stop the Tornado. Let's attach to Gible here. And I think I'm definitely gonna use the shuffle draw here. Shuffle and draw. Want Palpitoad, ideally. I think we take the KO. We do not want them drawing with Pidgeotto. Not at all. Palpitoad off prizes makes taking that KO worth it. Yeah, you're right, actually, Emerald. My bad. I'll change my statement from before. One of my best videos in the last year is about Soaring Storm. Okay. It's got this. Will you take the KO here? With Palpitoad? It's probably not bad, right? And let's do this. And then we'll go... throw Gible. Seems like a nice little combo. Yep. Yep. Retreat. Take the KO. And now we set up our bench with damage. So this is following your strategy, Emerald. Looks like we're going in pretty ham. Patrick! Hello. What is the best theme deck, in my opinion? The deck that I'm facing at the moment, Soaring Storm, I think is the best theme deck. I have a video on my channel all about Soaring Storm. It's called, like, Start Winning Tournaments, Pokemon theme deck tournaments with Soaring Storm, or something like that. It's on my channel. You'll find it if you have a look. Alright. We've got Seismitoad in hand. I think we attach here and threaten the 2-hit KO. Oh, it's not gonna work. What? Let's put the Gabite on top. Actually, no. Bulldoze. Let's put a draw supporter on top. So we'll take Bugcatcher here. Hit done. The energy wasn't gonna work out. It wasn't gonna work out. So I'm gonna do it like this. Because my opponent can't attack here either, right? I'm not going to let the Seismitoad get knocked out. But I think what I'm going to do is... So we get the Bugcatcher off the top. So this is still, you know, they'll Thunderous Tornado and it still won't be a KO. So what I'm doing here is I'm bulldozing for a Gabite. And then we'll use Bugcatcher. Heads, good. Good. I'm gonna put an energy here. Okay. Curious that they're not setting up Pidgey. Fine by me. Unfortunate top deck. What are we going to take here? So this Bulldoze is going to matter a lot. I think that I just want, like, Howl here, maybe? And draw more cards. Or I could Cynthia this hand. That might be alright as well. And then we'll hit done. Alright, here comes the Dragonite. Hurricane Charge, gonna accelerate energy from the hand. And now our opponent is gonna start catching up. And we're somewhat okay with that. We're somewhat okay with it. Because then Overslice will allow us to reach... Oh, Dragonite already only has 168 HP, so we don't even need... Actually, no, yeah, we do need to be behind in order to one-hit KO the Dragonites. So, I'm okay with this position, right? I'm alright with it. I want a Fan Club here. Because what I want is the other throw. And I want Tympole to take space as well. So we're going to play like this. And then we're going to Shoulder Throw again. So we're keeping the pressure on. What will you do? Fisherman? Good start. Alright, gotta believe. We really need the energy. Draw energy will do. And then we're gonna play Howl. I don't want a Cynthia. Tympole. Shoulder Throw. It's true. Mew is quite useful in this matchup. I do feel like maybe I made a poor choice with the way I played out that turn where I evolved the active Seismitoad, but I don't know. I like the way the game is going at the moment. I'm comfortable with it. All right. Palpitoad. Do I think this game is going to go 4 more turns? So instead of attaching to Groudon and using Drought, I could attach manually to the Palpitoad 4 times. Is that going to be too slow, though? I can work it out in a turn's time. I don't have to work it out now. Now, I kind of like having Lady in hand. But I'm also lacking the Garchomps. I really need to... I think I have to do it. Maybe my Garchomp's surprised? I don't know. Yeah, that's right, Roderick. That's right. I can knock out Lantern with Palpitoad. Off the prizes. Now, we do have 3 Palpitoads in the deck, so this has been a good outcome for us. I predicted it, yeah, a little bit. I'm having a think. I can always promote this because I'm going to evolve it, right? And it's got free retreat. We got the switch. That's pretty good. Lily for 2 cards. It's not good enough. So we'll do mini Earthquake here. And now what's quite good is we've got this other Palpitoad in hand. So they'll promote the Dragonite for sure. And then we just do 60 damage with Palpitoad. And then they'll have to come up with something. Now the problem with putting ourselves down to this many prizes is that we now can never use Avenging Aura this game. Because they'll never be ahead of us. They're going to put themselves in an awkward spot here. They've still got quite a lot of cards in hand, in deck as well, so that can be a good thing for us. With how weak their board looks at the moment. So I think the play is attach here. And attack with Palpitoad, right? I think that's the play. Mini Earthquake. So now they need to do at least 80 damage. There's also a funny line of play. Okay, they're gonna continue with the active. That's fine. Alright. Looks like we win. It was a good try, Dragonite. But our dragon is going to take the KO. Off the top there. Very amusing. Alright, you discard the energy for Overslice. Do 120 damage, and that's enough. Said KO. Nice! GG's, Whoopers, GG. Yeah, you said it, Ramon. Emerald, you're playing Mew VMAX with one line of Mew and 2 Genesect and Expanded? Well, I mean, Expanded, you just do what you like, right? You just freestyle. Alright, we got the Gible. It's not great, but hopefully we're going first. We are. We have Fan Club, but we can't use it till next turn. We are up against the Vivid Voltage Charizard, which is mildly concerning, but we will do our best. Let's see what happens. We get a mulligan. Hey, Brett. Yeah, you know it. You know it. How are you? I read your recent news on Facebook. Congrats to you. So let's see what our opponent's doing. We don't see a Charmander come down just yet on their first turn. Good. So now they are at least 3 turns away from Charizard. Tympole? Sure, let's bench it. Why not, right? We want a Fan Club here. But we don't have... So what's unfortunate is... I really want Groudon, right? But we don't have any energy in hand. So what I'm gonna do... Probably second Tympole, right? Energy. I'm very concerned about doing damage to the Sudowoodo because they can flail us. Oh. Man. Nonetheless, I think we need to Spike Draw. Alright, maybe they flail us. And that's fine because we can go into Throw. You're going to be moving into full-time study? Wow. That's exciting. Good for you. Look at you doing something with your life. Look at me. My Monday night. Playing Pokemon cards to a dozen people. Theme decks, no less. But hey, we're out here. On that content grind. I decided about a year ago, I was like... I'm gonna stop thinking about what I would do and just do it, right? And even if the YouTubes is not incredible, you know, by no means, but you know, we're getting somewhere. What do I want to do? Probably second Gible, right? Probably not a Groudon game. Yeah? Probably not a Groudon game. Spike Draw. You love theme deck tournaments? That's good. So you should. So you should, Brett. You'd be doing the same thing? Fair enough. We're absolute fiends for the cards, aren't we? So they played Leon here. Flail will do 70 if they attack, so... I've gone up in the number of viewers? I guess so. It's slow and steady, isn't it? All you can do is focus on yourself, right? You can't be concerned with comparing yourself to others, I think. Dang, what is this hand? Alright. Now, our opponent's board is looking pretty ordinary, right? Ooh, Gabite. Good, good, good. Wish more people played the other theme decks. Roderick, well, I'm here. You tell me what theme decks you want me to play. I'll give them a go. I'm not a high-flying American tournament player. I am a low-flying Australian tournament player. But that means I have a lot of downtime between tournaments, right? So I don't mind giving up a night to theme decks. Let's play Eevee theme deck. Is that a theme deck? Oh, it has to be a theme deck that I can acquire in the game. Wooper Gang Rise Up, yeah. We're up to 12 Woopers at the moment. 12 Woopers in chat. Oi! No! Yeah, good. Good. Alright. Gabite. Comes down. Energy onto the Gabite. I really hate having to use my draw supporters here, but I was fishing for Seismitoad. So, we've got a Garchomp in hand. I think what I want is my other Gabite, right? Or Palpitoad. Nah, the other Gabite. Mediocre. The whole theme deck tournament thing on this client is really interesting. It makes the game feel more appealing as a starter TCG. It is interesting, isn't it? Mediocre. Although I think Magic the Gathering is pretty good at, like, pairing you into starter structure type decks as well. So, but, you know, like, I just like the identity of Pokemon. I like this game a lot. I really wish that after the Vivid Voltage, the makers of this game client just created their own theme decks to go alongside the new ones and just kept making them. Maybe that's a movement we need to start on Twitter or something. So we're doing alright here. One of the things that I'm worried about is that we're weak to grass. And this Yanmega, I think, has 130 HP, doesn't it? Surprised at how easy it was to start out? Yeah. Yeah, it's not too bad. But I think that, like, a lot of the core principles of playing this game... Ooh, that was not good, Yanma. That's not good for you at all. I'm just going to play out this turn and continue that train of thought. Because I've got a few cards to play here. Let's just put Garchomp on top. Let's not think about it too much. Now, I don't need it this turn, right? So I'm just going to use Reverse Shoulder Throw. Take KO. Well, they don't have their hands full with it, Scott, because there's two different companies. With Live being developed in-house. Yeah, unless they've bought the management of this game in-house as well. Don't know. Yeah, not happy at all. It's just, yeah. You can go out and see it, but, yeah, it just seems really half-baked, and it just doesn't feel like a video game. I've said this before on streams before, Mediocre, that the Pokemon Company International are not really in the business of making video games. They're in the business of managing the Pokemon card game and designing the Pokemon card game, but they don't make video games. Alright, let's do this. Let's we can grab Throws, kind of a good card to have. And then we'll just go Overslice and discard an energy. Looking pretty good. Looks like we've got a route to the finals appearing in front of us, as long as nothing goes wrong. So mediocre. I had another train of thought. Yeah. So the only issue that I have with the theme decks is that the way the game looks in the theme deck meta and the way the game looks in standard and expanded are just completely different beasts. It almost feels like two different card games. To be honest. Whereas like when I look at Hearthstone and MTG, I think that a lot of the principles of playing those games effectively early on, the basics of them still apply in their most competitive forms as well. Except, you know, just like intensified, you know. So probably the big thing with the theme decks is the complete absence of certain types of cards. Like you just don't have cards that are ultra rare or rarer. Like and there's such a disparity in strength, right? So well, I might be wrong in my perception, and maybe like the difference is a lot wider than than my perception is in like MTG and Hearthstone and stuff. But yeah, that's probably like the only like the main criticism, right, with Pokemon and its theme decks. Like you're playing a really weird version, not weird, but like it's just very different from playing standard. The identity is very different for sure. Don't know what I could want at this point. We're doing a lot of damage, right? Now the only problem is these Charmeleons have too much HP. We have to keep discarding, but we are looking pretty good at this stage. Yeah, it's quite obvious that Pokemon Company International can't do it. Or like maybe the parent company has different expectations for the timeline of development. Like I don't understand, you know, like Konami came out with Master Duel, and that game is fantastic for players of that card game. 10,000 cards. All the interactions are just fine. And it's a really complex game. But, yeah, I don't know. Gets a bit difficult bulldozing every turn. So we're going to overslice here, and we won't discard anything. Now, if they attack with Lugia, we just win. You felt that this game has been more brew-friendly from content you've watched, which is refreshing. Yeah, fair enough. I think... So, and I actually wrote out a script for a video that I want to do. But something I talk about with Pokemon cards quite a lot is that... it is very... You have to set your expectations for the performance of your deck. And I think that, like, that's true of like, any card game. I think the reality of... I think the reality is that in a tournament setting, it can be quite narrow at times as far as the metagame goes. But, you know, if you're coming to learn the game today, like now, mediocre, I think that you've come in at a good time. I think the game's in a really good spot. Alright, we're going first. It looks like a mirror match. Get excited. Let's go Groudon. We're going to be using Drought here. We'll play the Draw Energy to see if we can fetch something out. And away we go. We're going first or second? Alright, we are going first. So that's good. 2 Draw Energy. It's handy. Alright, draw. Done. Not much to say about that turn. Rip Lily, yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to be able to make much use of it this game, unfortunately. Tantalizer for the shuffle draw there. Are we going to see a flail around, perhaps? Alright. That's devastating for them. How? Bro! Okay. We're gonna use Drought. Take the energy. Attach it to Groudon. If this remains active, I would very much like to take the KO. The double Lilia. Yeah, it's not great. So setting up for the throw. It's fine. Fan Club, finally? There are several outs to switch, but they've lost one with Tantalizer. So I'm going to take a risk here and Drought. So, at best, we force them to attach an energy, and then they can't do anything. Yeah, so like this is the awkward position I've put them in. They're kind of banking on me to knock out the Palpitoad, so they can come in with throw afterwards. If they have Switch or Tantalizer, okay, they didn't choose to use the switching effect. Fine. Now, if they just draw a Switch off that, I'm a little upset, but oh, he's back, Bob. Hello. Gotcha. Gotcha. There we go. Now we're gonna Fan Club. How are you, Bob? I'll take Throw and Gabite. I think these are the cards that we want, right? Because now I want to start setting up my own Throw and getting it ready. Trembling Ground. Take the KO. Now what I assume comes out is Persimmon. Yeah. I have to think here. Because Throw is not going to do anything. I think I need to send up Tympole. But I have to attach an energy to it. It's a hard one. Very difficult. I don't want to do anything with this hand. I don't want to get rid of it. Tails. We only draw 2. Do you get the Palpitoad, though? I like it. I like it. I like it. So now we're set up to be able to use reverse shoulder throw ourselves, and now we've got 2 attackers at the ready. Yeah, Bob. So you went away for the holidays, and now I'm up to 737 subs, and I'm uploading way more. Yeah. So something I realized very recently after watching some YouTube videos is that if I want to succeed at whatever it is I'm trying to do with YouTube, I need to put out more content. I need to do more. I'm simply not doing enough. We're going to attack with Trembling Ground. Here, for sure. I'm gonna Lily here because it's a rare opportunity to use it. Nagarajan? Hi. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Aim for 1k? I will try my best, Roderick. I will try my best. Vice Games and the Whooper Gang, we're on our way to 1,000 subscribers. Wouldn't that be exciting? Wouldn't that be exciting? So they take the KO, and that's kind of sad for the Groudon. It did a good job. Let's promote the Garchomp. It has free retreat. For now. Our opponent's hand is looking awful. It's looking really bad. I'm going to play Cynthia here because these cards are not helping us at the moment. Yeah, that's acceptable. So let's take this. And now we get our Seismitoad. Very nice. And then what we want to do here is Bulldoze, and we'll take... We want to put Lily on top, and then we can draw whatever we want. And then we retreat. Throw. Shoulder throw. Now our opponent's in a really tough spot. They have 1 energy and a Gible. That's all they've got. That's all they got. Yeah. So something I realized with... After watching lots of videos about generally what you're supposed to do to try and be successful on YouTube, I'm at a stage where I'm still like very early on. I'm still a YouTube baby, right? And if I want to get anywhere with this hobby of mine, well, I think I need to try and guarantee the energy here, right? So let's just put energy on top, because I don't want to whiff the attachment this turn. We'll play that down and then we'll Lily. If I want to get anywhere, I simply must continue uploading videos, and like more frequently. So I have to at least double the amount of videos that I'm uploading. So that's why you're seeing so much more. Like, my previous cadence was 1 video a week, so that's about 4 videos a month. And we got the win against Towering Heights Groudon in the mirror match. We were able to aggressively knock out the Palpitoad, which is their way towards evening out their setup and being consistent, right? We were able to overcome that by just generally having a better start, I think. So that was a good run from Towering Heights theme deck. I am impressed. Alright. What's the final conclusion? Well, why don't we just break it down now? So I've got the deck set up in front of me. This is what the deck list looks like. I think it's alright. I mean, it won a tournament for us there, but what I find, sometimes it can have somewhat disappointing opens. So you kind of have to compare it to what I think the best deck is in the format, right? So I really, really rate the Dragonite theme deck. So compare it. Early game with Dragonite, you've got like a lot of options. You can go first turn attached to Thundurus. You could go attached to Pidgey and collect. You could promote the Grimer and draw for nothing and attach to something else. It's got so many like good options about it in the early game. This deck, I mean, you do have options, right? You've got Spike Draw with Persimmon. You've got Drought to accelerate your energy into play early, which is not an option that Soaring Storm Dragonite has. But I think the trade-off is more than worth it with Soaring Storm. The idea is you want to try and use Palpitoad early. So try and get Palpitoad into the lead position and use Mini Earthquake to damage your board so that you open up the throw to be able to do what it needs to do with Reverse Shoulder Throw. So Reverse Shoulder Throw is only doing damage if you have damage on the bench. Palpitoad sets you up to be able to do that with Mini Earthquake. And if you ever get to a point where you get to, Tremulous Fist can do an obscene amount of damage with its attack. And then you kind of also have this Garchomp to put in a lot of work for you as well with Overslice and Avenging Aura. Even the free retreat is quite appreciated as well. So I think that naturally this deck should fall behind in the prize race, and then what helps you even out the prizes is just how quickly you can take them with Overslice. Because if you're behind, then Avenging Aura is knocking out the Pokemon that they've been able to establish while taking KOs on you. So I don't like it. It's kind of stressful to play. And you see that, like, against a deck like Roaring Resolve, I wasn't able to keep up in that matchup between the Rapidash and between the, you know, like the Rapidash and Charizard being able to set itself up, and the Queen doing a lot of work too, so yeah. It's good. You know, you can definitely win a tournament like I did just now, but yeah, it's alright.